The coffee shop buzzed with the usual morning rush. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee mingled with the chatter of patrons, creating a symphony of daily life. Baristas moved swiftly, crafting lattes and cappuccinos with practiced ease, while customers waited impatiently, their eyes glued to their phones or watches. Amidst this organized chaos, I noticed a young woman, her hair frazzled and her clothes mismatched, struggling to calm a fussy toddler. Her eyes darted around, searching for a moment of peace. Nearby, whispers began to ripple through the crowd. "Someone needs a good night's sleep," one person muttered. "Kids these days," another added, shaking their head. The judgment was palpable, hanging in the air like a thick fog. Faces turned towards her, eyes filled with disapproval and disdain. The air grew heavy with unspoken criticism, each glance a silent, unspoken verdict. But no one seemed to notice the deep exhaustion etched into her features, the worry lines that framed her eyes. They didn't see the sleepless nights, the endless worries that weighed her down. No one knew that she was a single mother, juggling 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Her partner had left, and her family was miles away, unable to offer the support she so desperately needed. Her story was invisible to those around her, hidden behind the facade of a frazzled appearance and a crying child. Each person in that coffee shop had their own story, their own struggles, but in that moment, they chose to judge rather than understand. A barista, noticing her distress, handed her a cup of coffee with a warm smile. It was quite a small gesture, but it spoke volumes. Sometimes all it takes is a bit of kindness to make a world of difference. The woman took a deep breath, her shoulders relaxing slightly. In that brief moment, she felt seen, if only by one person. It was just enough to give her the strength to face the rest of her day. The coffee shop continued its usual hustle and bustle, and the moment of judgment passing as quickly as it had come. But for that young woman, the sad impact lingered on. She carried it with her, a reminder of the harshness of this world, but also of the small acts of kindness that can make it bearable. In the end, it's the little things that really do matter. A smile, a kind word, a cup of coffee with a heart drawn in the foam. These are the moments that remind us of our shared humanity, that we are all in this together. As the young woman left the coffee shop, her toddler in tow, she held her head a little higher. She was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, buoyed by the small act of kindness that had made all the difference. We all carry unseen stories, wounds, dreams, triumphs. They shape us, mold us, make us who we are. Yet, we often judge others based solely on a fleeting moment, a glimpse, a single interaction. We forget that everyone is fighting a battle we know nothing about. We forget the power of kindness, of understanding, of simply asking, "How are you, really?" Snap judgments are walls we build. They separate us, create distance, and foster misunderstanding. When we judge quickly, we deny ourselves the opportunity to connect, to learn, to grow. We miss out on the richness of human experience, the tapestry of stories woven together. We choose isolation over empathy, fear over compassion. Imagine what would happen if we dared to look beyond the surface. What if, instead of judging the harried mum, we offered a smile, a helping hand? What if we saw the exhaustion not as a flaw, but as a badge of honor, a testament to her unwavering love. When we choose understanding, we open ourselves up to a world of connection and empathy. I, too, have been guilty of judging too quickly. I once met a man, gruff and distant, who always seemed to be in a bad mood. I avoided him, labeled him as unfriendly. Then, one day, I learned his story. He was a veteran, struggling with PTSD, haunted by memories he couldn't escape. Suddenly, his gruffness made sense. My judgment crumbled, replaced by compassion and a deep respect for his silent struggle. The bridge of empathy. Empathy is the bridge that connects us, that allows us to see the world through another's eyes, to feel their joys and sorrows as our own. It is the foundation of compassion, the key to unlocking understanding. When we practice empathy, we break down the walls of judgment and create space for genuine connection. Choosing compassion over judgment is a daily practice. It's about pausing before we speak, about asking questions instead of making assumptions. It's about remembering that every single person has a story worth listening to, a story that can teach us, move us, and inspire us. When we share our stories, we create a powerful ripple effect. Each story shared is like a pebble dropped into a pond, sending waves of connection and understanding outward. These stories have the power to touch hearts, change minds, and inspire action. We give others permission to do the same. By opening up, we show that it's okay to be vulnerable, to share our truths, and to let others into our world. This act of sharing can be incredibly liberating, not just for the storyteller, but for the listeners as well. We foster a culture of empathy, where vulnerability is seen as strength and authenticity is celebrated. In a world that often values perfection and invulnerability, sharing our stories can be a radical act of courage. It allows us to break down barriers and build bridges of understanding. In the sharing, we find connection, healing, and the courage to be our true selves. Stories have the power to heal wounds, both old and new. They remind us that we are not alone in our struggles and that there is strength in our shared experiences. Exactly. In those moments of sharing, we realize we are not alone. We see that others have walked similar paths, faced similar challenges, and come out stronger on the other side. This realization can be incredibly comforting and empowering, and it encourages others to open up too, creating a community of understanding and support. When we share our stories, we create a ripple effect that encourages others to do the same. This creates a safe space where everyone feels heard, valued, and understood. In this way, storytelling becomes a powerful tool for building community and fostering a sense of belonging. A call for kindness. In a world that often feels divided and disconnected, the simple act of kindness can be a powerful force for change. It can bridge gaps, mend hearts, and create a ripple effect that touches countless lives. Let us choose kindness, always. It is a choice we can make every day, in every interaction, no matter how small. A smile, a kind word, or a simple gesture can make a world of difference to someone who may be struggling. Let us approach each other with open hearts and minds, ready to listen, to learn, and to love. When we take the time to truly listen, we open ourselves up to understanding and empathy. We begin to see the world through the eyes of others, and our hearts expand with compassion. Let us build a world where judgment is replaced by understanding, and where every story, no matter how messy or complicated, is given the space and the grace to be told. Imagine a world where we all felt safe to share our stories, knowing that we would be met with kindness and understanding. What are your thoughts? How can we create such a world together? Have you ever had an experience where your perception of someone changed after you learned their story? It's a powerful reminder that everyone has a story, and that story deserves to be heard. When we take the time to listen, we often find that our judgments and assumptions melt away, replaced by empathy and understanding. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about kindness and understanding. How have acts of kindness impacted your life? How can we all contribute to a kinder, more compassionate world? Your stories and experiences can inspire others to choose kindness too. Together, we can create a ripple effect of kindness that reaches far and wide. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the Life Learning Institute and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We've got plenty more amazing content on the way.